Right, let's get on to this. An anti-Israel protest group today has threatened to disrupt London unless the government stops all arms export licenses to Israel. 7 protesters were arrested in London today. Youth Demand is a spin-off of Just Stop Oil. It not only focuses on the climate crisis, but has also been taking action over Israel's alleged genocide in Gaza. This is a little bit of what happened earlier.
This government is complicit in genocide. I will not move until there is an arms embargo on Israel. We need to resist. The people have the power. We have to stand up.
There's a genocide happening right now. 15,000 children have been murdered. 15,000 children. How many more before we get into civil resistance? It's time to be on the street.
Go right.
Head for the coast. It's going to be disrupting in London. We're going to be blocking the roads. We're going to be blocking the bridges. It's going to happen on the 22nd of June. We're back again. Sign up at youthdemand.org. Join the Telegram channel. I'll see you in the streets.
Well, he'll be a media star for a little while. Ella Taylor, who is a protester from Youth Demand, did you get arrested earlier?
Not today, no, or I wouldn't be sitting here.
No.
Unless you had a good lawyer.
Yeah, and then you might
have been.
Very
good.
Yeah. So 15,000 children have been murdered, killed, in
according
your view.
to Hamas.
And counting.
Where did you get the figures from?
Everyone knows the figures.
No, nobody knows the figures. Where did you get them from?
There's been research done by organisations such as Save the Children, organisations based here in the UK that have validated these
And you
facts.
saw them from Save the Children. So you're telling me on the programme today, Save the Children have said that there are definitely 15,000 who've been killed.
And counting, yeah.
Well, in a war, yeah, it's terribly sad, and I'm really upset about the whole thing. I'm upset about wars. I'm upset about nastiness, as you probably heard. I'm terminally ill. I have maybe 6 months left to live or something like that. Don't feel sorry for me, because I don't. But the fact is that there is so much nastiness going on, running around the streets of London demanding to stop everybody doing what they're doing and to stop. But you're not talking about the Yemen and the tragedies that are going on there. Blocks of flats in Ukraine and some in Russia that are being destroyed as we speak, but it's only this one. So my question to you is, are you totally anti-Semitic? Are you totally anti-Israel? You want the state of Israel, which is what Hamas want, completely eradicated?
Calling us anti-Semitic is a completely baseless claim.
But I'm asking you the question.
Nobody made a point before that you're not doing any other...
We are not anti-Semitic. What we are doing is we see that our government is complicit in genocide. Our government, let me finish. Our government, by allowing the sale of arms to Israel, is enabling this genocide, is enabling children to be murdered.
15,000 of 2 million genocide?
15,000 children.
Simple math, isn't it?
15,000 children,
but you know what genocide
civilians
means?
Targeted, is not a war. That's a genocide.
Can we just clear this up? What, in your view, is genocide?
The systematic eradication of a people, and that is what is happening.
We're not going to do that with 15,000,
yes,
if it had been, it would be finished by now. If the Israeli army had decided they were just going to kill everybody.
Like Hamas did on October 7th, that's what's genocide.
They went into that village and killed
when you just kill everyone in sight, that's genocide.
Israel is killing everyone. They're doing it slowly.
No, they're not.
They have penned people into Gaza. People can no longer leave. Civilians
Why don't
cannot,
Egypt let them in?
Civilians cannot evacuate
let them
Gaza.
in the tunnels. Why don't Hamas let them in
Israel
the
is
tunnels?
bombing refugee sites. Israel has designated safe spaces. We saw earlier this week. They bombed them.
Yeah, and Hamas fuel went off.
But you see, this emotive... Hang on, I would like to talk to people
some shrapnel hit
just
a weapons dump.
Just a minute. I'd like to talk to people like you in a sensible, serious manner. But you seem unable to do it. You seem, as soon as I say, well, this is not genocide. Genocide is what you describe, but that is not what is going on. There is genocide in this world in other places that we're not reporting on and we're not talking about.
What about Yemen? I mean, we helped Saudi Arabia with Yemen. What about in Syria? What about that is genocide? 1 million people have died. What about the Uyghur Muslims? Why? There's no protests for that. It's only for Israel. And that's why James makes the point that it must be anti-Semitic.
Absolutely.
Because that's
the fact is that our government is not arming these genocides. Our government is arming Israel.
Saudi Arabia, of course
But our government is arming Israel right now. We are seeing videos of babies with their bombs
We're selling planes to Saudi Arabia, selling nuts and bolts to Israel.
I'm interested. Let me ask you, what is the date next Thursday representing? What is the day next Thursday representing?
How do you mean?
Well, what date? There's a special day next Thursday. What is it remembering?
What's the day next Thursday?
Thursday's the day next Thursday.
The date.
The date. Is it the 4th of July? I think it's the 4th of July. I'm not sure. June, I beg your pardon. We're in June, aren't we? I'm racing ahead to the election. But do you know what it is?
The election?
No. It is D-Day. 80 years since D-Day happened.
Okay.
And somebody of your age should know that. Somebody of your situation should know that. And should be able to compare what happened during the time of the Nazis and what the amount of innocent people killed continually was appalling. And it was done, a lot of it was done by us. But that's what war does. And what I'm trying to make is I don't want to see war. I hate it. I think what you're doing is going, and other organisations like you, is going to increase a lot of animosity. And if any, we could have, I hope not civil war, but we could have a lot of civil problems with people on one side and the other. And it seems a lot of people don't know the history. They don't understand what war does. It's vile, it's horrible, it's disgusting. Soldiers don't just kill each other, unfortunately, because people get in the way. And when you have to stop, you know, Hamas went in and slaughtered. Not only did they slaughter those people, they filmed it and laughed at it. And then suddenly there's this huge anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish protests every week. And
Before even Israel had actually acted as well.
You're not stupid. I just wonder why you support them.
I would like to say, first of all, we are not anti-Jewish. We are not anti-Semitic.
Why is that the only thing you can't? Why don't you do any of the other protests? You know, Syria, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. You know, why don't you do any of
If you let me finish.
But I'll just make a point. Let me make a point.
Could you be quiet now?
Thank you.
Please.
Look, this is something that we can control. If we try to target every genocide in the world, we will get nowhere because there are too many.
So just the Jewish one then, the one that's concerned with the Jews?
No, what we are seeing right now is the Israeli government killing Palestinian civilians, targeting refugee camps, areas they have designated as safe.
But that's
They
not
are
true.
bombing.
It's not
It
true.
is true. You
I'm
can
sorry,
see it with your
it's
own
not
eyes.
true. Unfortunately, collateral damage happens when you're fighting. But these
Targeting children is not collateral damage. How dare you refer to children as collateral
Don't
damage?
you say how dare me. I am saying something from a sensible, serious point of view, and I am not going to have people like you go on about you're a genocide enabler. You hate, you know.
How dare you say Israel target children?
They do not target children.
How dare you say that?
War targets.
Why would they do that? That would be so stupid of them, wouldn't it? Why don't you call for Hamas to release the hostages, which would start a ceasefire immediately? Why do you never call for that?
I can't control what Hamas do.
No,
Our
you
government is
can't control what Israel do.
I condemn taking hostages on any side.
So call for their release. Have a sign with the release of
Netanyahu,
hostages.
if Netanyahu cared about hostages, he would not be indiscriminately carping bombing Gaza.
He doesn't care about hostages.
He has no idea where the hostages is being kept. He has no idea.
That doesn't
He's
mean he doesn't care
indiscriminately
about
killing
hostages.
civilians.
They
Netanyahu has
do.
time and time again called his dedication to total victory. He doesn't even mention the hostages.
Of course he cares about the hostages. That if he gets them out, he might possibly get voted in again, which is looking very unlikely.
What do you think about the latest peace proposals? Do you think they're a good idea?
I hope there's peace. I really do.
What do you think about the latest proposals and the way Israel has suggested to Hamas, who said they're considering them, on the release of some hostages, first of all, 6-week ceasefire, then release of more, a release of Palestinian prisoners? Because I'm getting sick and tired. I'll be very honest with you. People like you shouting out genocide every minute. You've got no idea what it's like. You've never been in a war situation, thank goodness, nor have I. But I have known people who have been, and I do know a little bit more about it than you. When you're in a war situation, unfortunately, innocent people, I'm not condoning this in any way, shape or form, but unfortunately, innocent people do sometimes get injured and killed. But what I'm saying to you is, if it was genocide, this would have finished ages ago. They carpet bomb the whole of Gaza, everybody be dead, and that will be it. And they wouldn't do it. And why you keep saying, oh, well, they are doing it, they're targeting children. They're actually not. What they're doing is trying to get into areas where Hamas are using children and innocent people as shields, trying to dare them. And as soon as they do that, then Hamas start running to somewhere
You're not
else.
helping the people of Gaza. They don't want Hamas, do they? They want to be free. You're only helping Hamas to subjugate and be an authoritarian government over people who should be free and want to be free and democratic.
And the more that you demonstrate,
you're helping the fascists.
The more that
you're helping the Nazis.
Right, just a minute. The more you demonstrate, the more they get, because they see it all on social media. they will get the idea that they're really destroying the kind of fabric of Western society. Let's get rid of democracy. It's all, they're thinking they're doing great, so they're going to go out there and try and cause more trouble. So in a way, you could be held responsible for something.
Well, you're helping Hamas. You're helping the people stay subjugated.
This isn't about Hamas. This is about
but you're helping
this is about innocent civilians in Gaza who are being killed by Israel, and our government is arming them. Our government
and
is
your
allowing
words are helping Hamas. They're loving what you're saying.
My words are not helping
Hamas. Yes, they are. You're back. You want a ceasefire. You want to help them rearm and do another October the 7th.
So do you not support a ceasefire?
Not unless the hostages are released. Then I do.
Hostages on both sides?
There aren't any hostages on both sides.
There are prisoners.
And you're accusing me of not having done my research and not
well,
I haven't, but yeah.
There are prisoners, and some of those prisoners may be considered hostages. I don't know.
Children who were arrested on the streets at 12 years old.
Stabbed soldiers. Are they all right?
Children arrested for just being on the streets.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, just arrested for being on the streets.
Well, you know, during the Second World War, I hate to go back to that. German people, just because they were German, were locked up to begin with, and that's sometimes what happens. Yeah.
We're not talking about the Second World War, we're talking about a genocide that is happening right now. How can you look at these pictures of babies with their heads blown off by Israeli bombs and not care?
It's not genocide. It's not genocide.
I've already said, just a minute, I've already said I find the whole thing appalling and disgusting. I hate war.
And yet you refuse to call it a genocide.
It is not a genocide.
It is a genocide.
And what I'm
just because it's bad doesn't mean it's a genocide.
What I'm trying to get through is the fact that your demonstrations are giving succor to these complete and utter bastards in Hamas who don't care at all. Certainly don't care about women, by the way. Women you keep right away. It's a very misogynistic organisation, religion, whatever you want to call it. But you are giving them succor to carry on doing it.
This
and I know you don't agree. Of course it's about
No,
Hamas.
I'm sorry, this is not about Hamas. This is about, I don't want innocent civilians of Palestine to die.
How can it not be
I
Hamas
don't
when Hamas
want children to
started
die.
On October
Nobody
7th?
does. Who do you think wants that? Do you think we
Hamas
want
want that?
Our government is enabling the Israeli government to kill
It
children.
wouldn't matter if we stopped all arms exports with few nuts. It wouldn't change anything.
Do you think we should be arming Saudi? You mentioned that before. Saudi.
I'm not here to talk about Saudi. I'm here to talk
You
about
don't
Israel.
like to talk about things
No,
that challenge
because
your view.
I don't know enough about Saudi to make a call on that. And
Well, maybe you
Saudi
should.
knows
Why
enough.
not? It's your country supplying it.
I'm talking about what I can see right now.
Why don't you look into it? Why are you like an ostrich with your head in the sand?
Let me finish. Our government is enabling a genocide. I don't think it's unreasonable
Our
to
government
not want
is
bombs
not
made in the UK to be dropped on
enabling
Palestinian
a
children.
genocide.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Gibberish. You're saying it's a genocide. Every war's a genocide, according to you. Was it? Did we commit genocide in Iraq?
I don't know enough about it.
Why? Oh, you don't see anything. What about Afghanistan? Did America and Britain, did we commit genocide there? Do you not know anything about that?
I know we committed atrocious war crimes.
But not genocide.
But we
It
didn't
may be
commit
genocide.
atrocious war.
You didn't look into that.
I don't know
Why
enough
do you only
about
look
it.
into
We are
the
running out of time. Be quiet.
Palestinian children
Can
have
I
been
ask you
killed
one
while we are
last
having
question?
We
One
know
last
that's all right.
question. Ignore him. One last question. Are you prepared to admit that Hamas are a terrorist organisation?
I'm not here to talk about Hamas. I'm here to talk about Israel killing children
But
and
you can
our
answer
government
that.
arming them and
You can
enabling
answer
them
that,
to
though,
have
can't
them.
you? As a person.
I don't
Listen,
need to answer that. It's not
you do
very
need
interesting.
want to
you
answer it.
do
I don't
need
need
to
to
answer it.
And you don't want to.
You do need to answer it. You've already said Israeli army are. You, in your view, terrorists or just committing genocide or what?
Committing genocide,
but-
killing children.
Oh, for God's sake!
That's not what the definition of genocide. You should do a bit of research on
Listen,
I know what
Leave
genocide is. They are
No, you
systematically,
don't.
they are blocked
They're not.
Gaza. They are not allowing people
You're
to evacuate.
not.
They are
They
not
are
allowing
not.
sick people to
Hamas
evacuate. They
are
are
not
not
They're
allowing
taking sick
aid
people
in.
to Israeli hospitals. They evacuated Shifa hospitals, took the
We
very
can't-
sick ones to Israeli
They've
hospitals. We don't know what
sieged
you're on
Shifa
about.
hospital.
We
Mass
need to-
graves were found
we
with
should
children.
break.